Good afternoon, everyone. I am Bavadarni from Pencil Bits. I heartily welcome you all on 3 days online workshop on NAAC binary accreditation. I heartily welcome Dr. S. Dhanabhagyam Ma'am, School of Business Management, Christ University, Pune, Maharashtra. And she currently in academician researcher in Christ University, Pune. And she also experienced in associate professor, assistant professor, doctoral researcher, and she have the skills like product service, business insights, conferences, writing, logistics management, and data analytics, etc. I kindly hand over the session to Dr. Dhanabhagyam ma'am.
Thank you, Bhavatarini ma'am, for your brief introduction about me. So I hope the participants have started joining. So I think we can continue with the session. So today's session, we will proceed with yesterday's session, which has been delivered by Muthukumar, Dr. Muthukumar sir. In continuation with that, so today let me talk about we will start the great insights, which we are going to see about the binary accreditation. So hope I'm sharing the screen. So ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the screen is visible? Can I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. One minute, I'm just sharing in a slideshow view. So hope that will be more visible, and you will also, hopefully you can understand. 1 minute. Yes. Okay, so before moving on with the session, let us have a few insights. Since yesterday sir was also been talking about binary accreditation. So currently this binary accreditation is one important version we can tell, which is the extended version of NAAC. Earlier, what do we have? Like 7 criteria we had. And similar like that, now there is a transformation, just a little, there is a strategic change we can tell, so which we are, about to get ready for the binary accreditation system process. So here, today we will see about the important highlights about binary accreditation system. What are the important highlights, and then what are all the procedures, what we are supposed to carry forward when we go in the NAAC process. So basically, when you talk about binary accreditation is basically about similar like the earlier NAAC process. What do we have? Similar like that only. But here in binary accreditation, earlier we used to tell 7 criterias, but in binary accreditation, we have around 10 attributes. So this is a basic difference which we are supposed to understand. So basically, when you talk about the highlights of binary accreditation, initially we have same, the metrics will be followed here also, and we will have all the criterion evaluation. Instead of criterion evaluation, here we have to talk about attributes. I think yesterday he has given a detailed introduction about what is binary accreditation. So in continuation with that, today let us see what are all the when the transformation happened with binary accreditation, how this process happens, and what are all the changes basically when we go for, as an institution or an university, when we go for filing our data, when we go for the NAAC process, what are all the steps need to be followed. So when you look into the highlights, basically it's only the metrics. Here we are going to have more and more quantitative metrics. Only quantitative metrics, and why they made this binary accreditation is basically to remove the unfair practices. Earlier we used to have the the team visit, peer team visit. They will come after our submission of all the data. They will have NAAC peer team visit. They will come to the institutions and or universities, and basically they will be there for around 2 days. And the process again, they will they will verify all the documents. So here in binary accreditation, we don't have that particular process. To avoid that, basically to avoid the unfair practices, whatever is happening, to make it more and more highly effective, highly transparent, for that particular reason only, today we are having this this transformation has happened. We call it as what? Binary accreditation. And if you see in this scenario, when I want to give you a very good example, basically there was an university, not even an university, it is an institute in Andhra Pradesh. Actually, it was a very hot news, which we can see in most of the newspapers, how the unfair practices are happening. So basically, to eradicate all those particular situations, this binary accreditation is a very good, very good process, we can tell, and it is a quite transparent, and it is quite an efficient metrics, and it's more and more effective. So nowhere we don't want to go into any unfair or unethical practices. So to avoid that, basically this binary accreditation system helps a lot for the universities and institutions. So here, similar like in the earlier accreditation process, we call their criterions, we have criteria, around criterion, 7 criterion we have, but here in this binary accreditation system, we have 10 attributes. So this 10 attributes, when you look into the 10 attributes, just I will, meanwhile, I will show the PPT also, so that you can have a clarity on it. So as I said, like 10 attributes, how this 10 attributes functions is like input, process, and output. So this basically we should understand. It has input, process, and output. So this attributes, earlier we had 7 criterion. This 7 criterion has been now divided into 10 attributes, and this 10 attributes been divided into input, process, and output. Okay, so that is one important thing. And by this help of this binary accreditation system, we can preserve more and more time. It will not consume a lot of time like earlier process. So here we don't want to waste more of time and fear. The anxiety will be quite, it is a transparent. So when we have the proper data, when we have all the details with us, so here, since it is more and more easier for us, so we don't want to have any fear or anxiety. That is another important advantage what we can talk about, this benefit of this, highlights of this binary accreditation system. And when you talk about this binary accreditation system, it's something like it's a path to improve the quality, as well as the other important word which we tell is it's a kind of the path to quality, to improve the quality and maturity despite the challenges. So this NAAC's binary accreditation system and MPGL is nothing but it is a kind of we can tell MPGL is maturity based grade level system, we used to tell. So this offer new opportunities. How does it offer new opportunities? Is it focus on minimum quality benchmark. Okay, so minimum quality benchmark in the sense, institutions are now encouraged to prioritize foundation quality standards rather than chasing the incremental grades. So here there will be a continuous improvement through maturity levels. So this binary accreditation system, it's a quite straightforward, and it was a quite transparent, and it was a very it gives us a clear outcome. And this MBGL, that is MBGL, is nothing but maturity based grade level assessment, which enables the institutions to continuously evolve by identifying specific areas of growth. So here, through this process, through this binary accreditation system, basically we can find it out where we are lacking and how provide through this particular in this particular scenario and this particular binary accreditation system, it emphasizes on more on outcome based education, and it improves the students learning. It improves more and more of students learning, student centric learning. Like many of the universities and institutions, if you see today, universities, deemed universities, their course plan itself is being more and more improvised in the form of which meets the NAP policy. So likewise, from the base level, our syllabus, our curriculum will be more and more improvised according to this new binary accreditation system, where we can from the career, from the syllabus, from the basic foundation onwards, designing the syllabus, designing the course plan, where we can improve the system of what do we deliver to the students, and whether the delivery is more and more learner centric to the students, and whether we give more and more assignments. It's not only a written based assignment, whether we give them a more and more learner centric approach assignments. So these things will be more and more improvised in our syllabus itself. So these are all the quality, it is in turn it increase our quality, even building our syllabus, we can tell. And also it meets the global alignment. So here, as it aligns Indian accreditation practices with global benchmarks. So through this binary accreditation system, even universities and colleges will parallelly, they are able to align with the global standards. So these are all the important highlights. These are all the important highlights of binary accreditation system. So just let me continue with this. Before continuing with this, do you have any queries or doubt? If you have, sir and madam, if you have any queries, please, you can ask in the middle. We can have a discussion, and we can continue. So these are the important highlights. Hopefully, I think you have understood. Earlier, we had criteria wise, 7 criteria. Now we have attributes. These attributes are attributes we have. So input, basically there will be about 4 attributes will be covered at the input process, and carries a mark of about 25%, and the process and the output which carries around rest other 75%. So this is a main important scenario which we see in the accreditation process. Okay, so here hopefully I think you are clear with this basic introduction about binary accreditation system. What is binary accreditation system? What is the meaning of binary accreditation system? Hopefully I think you are all clear with this. So here this is some of the data. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, participants wish to, you can zoom the screen in FI mode, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. I have shared the screen. I got a message and I have shared the screen.
Okay, ma'am. In call messages chat window, some participants asked to zoom the screen, ma'am.
Okay, I have no, 1 minute. I will do it again. Just I'm sharing the screen.
Okay.
Once again. Now is it visible, ma'am?
Visible, yeah, ma'am. In Zoom.
Yeah, now it is in the presentation mode only. Is it possible? Is it?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Is it clear now? Is it clear now, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so here this is important. You are able to understand what basically to fulfill the NAP system. It influences the talk about how does it fulfill. You may have a question for us, that is
Hello, ma'am.
So
Your
that
voice is
basically these are all
breaking, ma'am.
the initial stage onwards, even from the beginning of the building the curriculum, we can do all the.
Ma'am, there is a network in correction in proper
all the
manner, ma'am. Please check it, ma'am.
like no, I can get the response from your end.
Now it is audible and clear, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Shall I? Okay, now is it clear, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Little bit break down the voice in proper connection, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay, ma'am. When there is that those kind of problem when you face, please let me know, ma'am. I will just continue my presentation. I will continue with my presentation. Okay. So here, this basically this binary accreditation, it is a kind of a pull approach that symbolize. So it is like no, it's more and more of easy way of going to more of making the like no individuals more and more highly important and it is very simple and transparent process because mission.
Ma'am,
There are some, if you go through the NAAC website, we can see there's one, even the data can be uploaded. It is more and more of easy way of online submission. And objective, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, it is in proper connection again, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I couldn't get, ma'am.
Ma'am, your network was breaking, voice and breaking, ma'am.
Just a minute. I will just make a move to the. Just I will see. No, some other location.
Okay,
I get the clarity. Just a minute.
okay, ma'am.
Is it audible now? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
The voice is audible, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think I can mute my video. So hopefully I think I will have a stable network connection.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So yes. So I was talking about how does the process being carried and like it fulfills the new educational policy and it is a kind of a pull approach and it is a more and more simple, transparent process and it is more and more of objective assessments through quantitative process, primarily based on the data submitted by higher educational institutions and it has less scope for qualitative judgments. So due to this, we have more and more we can reduce the biasness what is happening in the NAAC accreditation process. So basically there is no peer team visit here in this binary accreditation process. So it saves a lot of like no traveling cost and also even the whatever the hospitality, whatever we provide, it is more and more easier for us. We don't want to spend more and more of like no the so these are all the areas where we can be save our time as well as the other operational costs whatever been included in it. Okay, and next actually through this through this binary accreditation process, it is a shorter cycle. Okay, so here basically when you talk about shorter cycle for the entire process of accreditation, and likely to be reduced less than 50% what we have the current methodology. So it is most of the 50% our work will be more and more easier and will be of more and more shorter cycle. And here for this basically there is no appropriate fees for accreditation. There is we can tell since there is no peer team visit, and also there is less of operational cost being included in this. So these are all the great advantage which we can talk about this binary accreditation system. And now when you talk about the eligibility applying to NAAC for binary accreditation system is basically the institutions at least they should be finished at least around one batch of students should be graduated, and the institution being established, at least the existence should be for 4 years. This is the main important criteria. Earlier we had of around 2 batch of students are supposed to get the degree, graduates. We should have at least 2 batch, and at least 6 years of existence need to be completed. So there is a quite transition according to this binary accreditation system. And next, when you talk about the filing the data and how does the SSR and how does the verification process, everything, when you take in that when we look into those areas, basically here, like earlier process only, the same process also will happen, but only thing is the peer team visit will not be there. IIQA we will do, then SSR will happen, and through SSR, after 30 to 45 days of time, DVB report will be submitted. After DVB report, 15 days of time, either the peer team visit will happen. So this is the earlier scenario. But when you look into this binary accreditation process, basically, ma'am, I am with all, like I hope my voice is audible now. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So here, basically, we will have the same process. IIQA will be done. SSR will also be done. And for this, basically for this SSR, after 30 to 45 days, DVB report will be submitted. After submission of the DVB report, 15 days of time, the peer team visit will happen. But here, in this binary accreditation process, the peer team process will not be there. And this is the one exemption. This is the one important change and the transformation which we can see from the earlier NAAC and this in this binary accreditation process. And also another one thing is, if it is needed, instead of physical visit, peer team visit, there is some exemption will be happening. In that exemption, there will be the team after submission of the SSR and DVB report later on, either if the institution, if suppose the peer team, if they has any kind of queries or anything, some online visit will be done by the NAAC team. So this is the process, basic simple process about this binary accreditation. Then next, after, as I was telling to you earlier, so this is a small abstract view what I have told about this particular process, and that there was a transformation from earlier NAAC and now the binary accreditation what we are following. And when you talk about the maturity based graded accreditation, that is based graded level we used to call. So here the implementation of this MBGL, that is maturity based graded accreditation, actually this has been this framework is slated for December 2024, providing institutions with a timeline to prepare for the transition. So under this particular framework, the higher education institutions will be graded between the range level of 1 to 5. Okay, the level will be given from 1 to 5, and how the level will be graded is 1 to 4 will be considered as institutions of excellence, And the level 5 will be considered as institution of global excellence for multidisciplinary research and education. So this is how the grading will also happen according to MBGL. MBGL is maturity based graded level. So the grading will be given from level 1 to level 5. And when you take from level 1 to 5, 1 to 4 will be considered as the institution of excellence. And the 5 will be considered as, level 5 will be considered as institutions of global excellence for multidisciplinary research and education. And next, when you talk about the comparison, now I'm talking about the comparison between the earlier NAAC grading system and what is about the binary grading system. So earlier we used to have like the grades will be awarded for the institutions or the universities based on 3 to 4 if the institution they score, we call it as what? The NAAC accredited with A++, the institution being accredited as A++. And if suppose if the score is from 3.26 to 3.5, then we call it as what? The grade will be given as A+. And if it is from 3.1 to 3.25, the grade will be of A. And from 2.7 to 3, it will be as B++. So this is what the grading has been given earlier. But according to binary grading system, the institutions will get more than 2 CGPA, then the institutions will be called as what? Accredited. And if the institutions get more than 1.5 CGPA and less than 2, then the outcome will be the credit will be of provisionally accredited. If the institutions get less than 1.50 CGPA, then the institutions will be considered as not accredited. So this is the important classification which we are supposed to understand. And yes, so till this, does anybody has any queries or doubt? Okay, so hope I think I will move with the next. So this is as of now we have seen about the benefits of binary accreditation system and what are the transformation and transition happened from earlier NAAC and with the current binary accreditation system, that is a binary grading system. And earlier, what was the parameters being evaluated, and currently earlier the parameters are with criterion hits, criterion criteria 1 to 7, criterion 1 to 7. Currently we are having with the attributes 1 to 10. So this is the difference. And the scores also we have seen starting from the score from 3 to 4, we call it as what? A++. And so this grading, what is the grading and what's the binary grading also we have seen. So these are all the just the differences which we have seen. Okay, so now let us see how does this input and the output process happens. Okay, so here input is, yes ma'am. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so here evaluating according to the educational excellence, we call it as what? Through 3 pillars we used to evaluate it. And the 3 pillars, how does it happen is input, process and outcome. So when you considered as an input initial, that is a criteria till attribute. Okay, it's not criteria, we call it as what? Attribute 4. The attribute 4, actually there is some disturbance from the participants end. Kindly I request the host to mute the person. It will be off. Yes, ma'am. Yes, there was some little disturbance. I hope you have muted. Okay, so here the evaluating the educational excellence, basically there are through three pillars we are going to evaluate it. When you talk about input process, how does it happens is input talks about basically the curriculum design. Curriculum design is nothing but the syllabus and the faculty qualifications and the faculty ratio, facilities, the infrastructure facilities, what the institutions or the university has, and all the financial resources. So this will come under the input criteria. So here, based on this input criteria, so input here, the syllabus, what do we, how do we design? Either it may be an autonomous institution, or it can be even universities, or it can be the affiliated institutions. Basically, how do we design our curriculum, and what is the faculty students ratio, and what is the qualifications of the faculties and facilities, the infrastructure facilities, whatever we have, library facilities, if it is a, even we have some science courses, we have some core courses like data science, computer science. So these kind of institutions, whether we do have the enough and sufficient infrastructure facilities along with the financial resources. So this all parameters, these all factors will come under the input process. So here, under this input process, whether the institution has all the necessary input to support the effective learning, effective teaching learning process, whether it is happening properly or not. When the effective teaching learning need to happen, basically these are all the basic foundation which an institution or the university should have. So that comes under the input. Next, when you talk about the process, basically the process covers the areas the process, it's a category, evaluates the methods and procedures employed by an institution in delivering the education. So here, our curriculum engagement, how do we engage our students through our course plan? Course plan after the syllabus, designing the syllabus, whether our course plan is efficient and effective to measure the students' level of knowledge, under various levels. And similarly, whether the teaching methodologies, whatever the teaching methodologies, rather than rote learning, whether do we give the sufficient student-centric learning approach for the students. These needs to be, these are all the details which we are supposed to take in teaching methodologies. Then student support services, whether we do have the sufficient enough club, students, active clubs, associations, NCC. So those things will come under this, and governance. So these are all the things which comes under the process. So it examines how this process effectively makes the institution to translate its resources into a meaningful educational experience, whether through all this process, whether we are able to attain the proper outcome, as well as whether we are able to give a proper educational experience for the students. So here, basically, as an input, we should have all the facilities, and then the process need to happen very effectively, and the operation need to happen at the front end, whether we do give all the facilities, whether as an institution at the strategic level. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I request the host to mute the some audience. I could get some disturbance. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Dr. Pari. Yes, sir.
Dr. R.
Yes, sir. There is a question, I think. Dr. Pari has raised the hands.
No, ma'am. He has unmuted his mic. I am muted again. You can continue.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
So here in process, basically the process is nothing but the operation, whether the daily operations, even the student engagement activities, how do we follow, the teaching, how do we follow, whether the teaching has been measured with proper feedback at all the levels, whether we are imparting a very proper, thorough knowledge to the students, and beyond the teaching, whether do we have other student engagement activities. So this all comes under the operation area. So when we have all this parameters under operational area, if it is clear, then definitely we can tell that our institution is capable enough to give a good education, we are imparting a good learning to the students. And when you talk about the outcome, this outcome talks about the rest of the attributes. So here in outcome, it assesses the results and impact of the education process. It look into the students' learning outcome, their examinations, whether choice-based credit system or any credit system, how do we have accordingly, whether we are correctly, rightly with the proper rubrics, whether we are evaluating the students' knowledge. Then whether do we have the graduate employability. So according to our curriculum, whether by learning this particular curriculum, either it may be an BBA course or an MBA course, by learning that particular course, whether the students are employable in the job market. Similarly, after their graduation, whether rather than it increases or it enhances their professional skills, and whether it's more and more gender equality. So various parameters is tried to this learning outcome should match with the employability skills, professional skills, and various skills need to be it should be matched with the various professional skills, employability skills, and even it should fulfill the gender equality, so and so. And next, when you talk about the research output, whether the research, whatever the students at the graduate level or at the PG level or even at the PhD level, whatever the research being done by the the researcher or by the researcher along with the faculty, whatever the research being done, whether it is contributed to the society. So this need to be measured very clearly in outcome. So this category focuses on tangible benefits and achievements relating from the institution's educational endeavors. So this input and the process and the outcome should have more and more highly correlated. So when we have the sufficient enough data related with the input as well as with the process as well as with the outcome, then we can tell our teaching learning process is more and more effective, efficient, and we are giving good knowledge and we are providing the education to our the students, as well as we are measuring at a proper right level the students' knowledge being measured, and after measuring, not only that, whether they are capable enough to graduate. So this need to be measured very carefully. So here input and process and outcome should work more and more very correlate, that they should have all the correlation factors and they should work more effectively. Then we can tell the teaching learning process is more effective, and now overall the institution is capable enough to go for either any one of the the levels. We are able to fulfill all any 1 to 5, we have seen the levels. Either we are able to cover at least from level 1 to level 3. This need to be measured. So here, this transparency so it's more and more compared to the earlier NAAC process. Here in this binary accreditation system, it is more and more quite transparent. Okay, so here how it is transparent is it's become more and more, we are trying to give more and more quantitative data. So this quantitative data will be done more and more through the data, through the data, it will be done through some online platform itself, which has the proper evidences, proper documents. Through that, when you file the data, here there is no chance of doing any biased submission or doing any duplication, or there is no chance of duplication of the data. So here, basically in this binary accreditation system, it clarifies us, it gives a clarity how to file the data and how efficiently we can file the right data that can be done under this particular binary accreditation process. So the main important process here, the NAAC process, what we are supposed to understand is input, process, and outcome. And now let us see the binary accreditation framework comparison. As we have seen earlier in NAAC, we have 7 criterions. Here in binary accreditation, we have 10 attributes. So this 10 attributes, how does this 10 attributes be designed? Let us see. Starting with curriculum, faculty resources, infrastructure, financial resources. So this all 4 all together, we call it as what? Input. Hopefully, I think the audience are able to understand what is now input. So input, it talks about the 4 attributes. The 4 attributes are nothing but the curriculum, the syllabus, faculty resources, whether the students' faculty ratios are very perfect, whether the infrastructure facilities are sufficient enough, library resources, the lab facilities, and apart from lab facilities, whether the infrastructure facilities are very perfect. Okay, these all need to be covered under this particular attribute 3. And next, in attribute 4, it talks more about the financial resources and management. So this 4 attribute, it talks only about the input. So here in this input, basically, if it is an university, the university is supposed to score the marks of about 225. Okay, the university. And if it is like autonomous also, it is about 225. And next, when you talk about the next attribute 5, 6, 7, and 8, 5, 6, and 7, it talks about the process. So as earlier we have seen, the process is like the operational area of an institution or an university. So when you look into the operation or the institution operational level, here, whether the teaching and learning happens effectively, the faculty feedback, the student stakeholder feedback, everything comes under here. And next, extended curriculum engagement. So whether do we have the curriculum engagement not only related with the subject and beyond the subject, whether do we have some other club activities or various other like NCC, all those things will come under this extended curriculum engagement. Even value added course, those things we can be taken under this. We can consider under this attribute 6. Next, attribute 7, it talks about more and more of governance and administration. Next, attribute 8, 9, and 10, it talks about students' outcome, the placement, the internship, so and so. It talks about students' outcome, research and innovation outcome, projects, and it talks about projects as well as the research, whether whether the research being like how do we have in our university or an institution, whether do we have either we have a JRF or even the research PhD students or research scholars are doing some research project, anything related from the funded scheme or UGC, MRP projects. So this all will come under research and innovation outcomes. And next 10 talks about the sustainable outcomes and green initiatives. So when you talk about the sustainable outcomes and green initiatives, when you considered about the sustainability outcomes, actually today, if you see the syllabus, the curriculum itself designed in such a way. See, for example, if it is a supply chain in BBA course, if you take in BBA course, supply chain analytics. So here we have under SDG goals around 17 SDG goals. Under the 17 SDG goals, few areas in our syllabus, whether it is correlated with any of the 17 goals. So likewise, from the beginning in the input process itself, our syllabus can be designed either if it is an affiliated university, any one of the member from our institution will be a BOS member of being connected with the university. So from the university level itself, they have to design the syllabus or the curriculum related with more and more of SDG goals. So likewise, these attributes are divided. So basically 8, 9, and 10, which covers the attributes, or which covers the 8, 9, and 10 attributes covers the outcome part. So totally we have around 1000 total weightage, out of which first out of one attribute 1, 2, 3, and 4 covers a 25%, rest other 75% will be covered from attribute 5 to 10. So now let us see first attribute. So today, I hopefully I think we can able to cover 4 attributes. So when you talk about the attribute 1, curriculum design. So when you talk about this curriculum design, actually I said earlier from attribute 1, 2, 3, 4, which comes under the input process. And when you look into the input process, here we are going to talk about the syllabus. And beyond the syllabus, whether do we have any any other value-added course or any other multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary syllabus, whether do we have, which is more and more imparting knowledge to the students. And we have seen about the faculties, faculty resources, infrastructures, and all the other financial attributes which we have checked, which we have seen here. So first, when you look into the curriculum design, basically this curriculum design, it starts with the syllabus. Start with the syllabus. So here, if it is an university level, it will be around 75. Autonomous colleges, the weightage score will be 75. And if it is an affiliated college, the score will be of 50. Okay. So here, when you talk about the outcome-based curriculum, whether the syllabus which we design, the syllabus should have SDG goals and gender equity, whether it is fulfilling any employability skill, professional skills. So from the basic, when we design the syllabus itself, we have to design the syllabus which map to SDG goal, cross-cutting issues, professional ethics, and likewise, we have to design the syllabus from the beginning at the initial stage itself. And then next, once if we design while during, 1 minute, just I will show one more file. So here you will get more and more clear understanding related with the binary metrics. According to the NAAC format, I will show you the other one PPT. So related with criterion 1, that is attribute 1. So this will give you more understanding related with the criterion 1. So here, if you see related with according to the NAAC format, so this, for example, if you see curriculum, so here, 1 minute. So if you take curriculum, actually, curriculum comes under attribute 1. So here, as we have seen earlier, university level 75 is the score. If it is an autonomous institution, 75, affiliated, if it is 50. Okay, so here when you see the metric 1.1, how do we measure for outcome-based curriculum? So here, basically, the curriculum framework will be aligned with the outcome-based education. So definitely our syllabus, whatever syllabus we can give, either we can talk at a UG level or at a PG level, whether our syllabus has this particular OBE concept, outcome-based education, which has POs, COs, and PEOs and PSOs. So this should be there in our syllabus. POs, I hope, what is, can anybody tell the audience, can you tell what is the meaning of POs? COs and PEOs and PSOs. POs is just for a quite interactive session. We can make it more and more interactive session.
Program outcome.
Okay, program outcome. Very good, madam. Program outcome. So program outcome, that we should have a very good clarification between program specific outcome and program outcome. For example, program specific outcome is something which is being designed at the strategic level. For example, if you take a BBA course or MBA course, so here our specific outcome is totally different from program outcome. So program outcome is only at the BBA level. BBA, BCom, like BCA, we talk about when you give the outcome for BBA, that is called as what? Program outcome. Program specific outcome is which will come under the which will come under the institution level, which will come from our mission, vision, and the objectives of our institution. From based on that, so here when the institution, when they design the vision and the objectives at the strategic level, with the governing bodies, with the top level leadership, top strategic level leaders, when they build the mission, vision statement, objectives, From that, we have to refine our program specific outcomes. That is totally different, which talks about program specific outcome. Our program outcome is something related with our BBA course or BCom course or a BSc course. So this, after learning BBA, what will be their efficiency of the students, employability skill, whether they may have even the kind of entrepreneurial skill. For example, BCom, BBA, when you talk about this particular course like BCom or BBA, basically most of the students, once if they complete their degree, their interest and their ambition will be either to have a startup, either to take care of the family owned business, or either to be in some of the industries or MNC company, or even any of the service industry they have to be placed. So here our program outcome should be more and more aligned clearly, very clearly related with our BBA, or related with BCom, or with our graduate, either with the graduation level, we have to clearly design our program outcomes. So that clarity need to be there when we design our program outcomes. After that, then we have the course outcomes. Course outcomes is related with the subject. Program outcome is related with the degree what the particular individual gain. By gaining that degree, whether they are capable enough, once after they graduate, they move from the institution or the university, whether they are able to have a startup, whether they are capable enough to do their own business or take care of the family business, or either they are able to be employed in any of the service industry or in any of the multinational company. So that we talk about, that comes under the program outcome. Course outcome is related with the subject. Courses related with the courses. For example, if it is a BBA course, so if it is a BBA, they have around various around 20 or 22 courses, it may be there. So that we call it as what? Course outcomes. After learning this particular course, for example, most of our program outcomes should maximum, there should be a correlation, high correlation related with the course outcome. Course outcome in the sense, for example, if it is a BBA course. So here, for example, BBA Business Analytics, the students are pursuing. Once if they complete the BBA, general BBA or any specific BBAs, when they complete, once if they graduate, whether they have the core domain knowledge to place themselves in any of the industries or to have their own venture. So that need to be satisfied. So that teaching learning process need to be very, very effective. So for that particular, to attain the course outcome, our courses need to be done very clearly classified, and we should have the enough sufficient courses according to our program outcomes. So even that there may be some changes. See, we keep even very old courses which is not needed. Even when the syllabus revision happens, we can remove that courses which is not beneficial to our NAAC policy, which is not beneficial even for our NAAC accreditation, even for our students' benefit. If the course is not more and more valid, definitely we can remove that course, and which course gives more weightage to the students, those courses can be brought inside our syllabus. And next one is program educational outcomes and PSOs that already we have seen. And it is same for autonomous colleges as well as for the affiliated colleges. So here now let us see how does this curriculum we try to create the syllabus. So when you design the syllabus, when you design the curriculum, basically this syllabus need to be designed in such a way whether we have taken the inputs from our students. So whether we for example, after 3 years, when we move for our NAAC accreditation process, before 3 years, whether we have validated the students, we have done very well the evaluation. We had a very proper rubrics evaluation system with the proper rubrics. We have evaluated the students' knowledge that need to be measured. Then similarly, teachers, for example, even we can go for having even specialized courses wise. For example, if it is a BBA Business Analytics course, We do not have the teachers only from BBA or MBA, even the data science faculty, even a computer science faculty, who can be more specified, who has more and more thorough knowledge, who specialized in that particular field can be employed, who can give the right core domain knowledge to the students. So that need to be measure, that need to be more specific, more relevant. Like most of the premium business schools, if you take, they go for recruiting the faculties who's more knowledgeable in either supply chain or either in human resource management or either in marketing analytics or either in marketing management. So likewise, we have to recruit the faculties. And even these are all the things, whether the students after completing their graduation, how much they have employed in the industry and what is their frequency and consistency in the workplace. That need to be also data need to be collected. And one important thing is alumni data. With alumni, we have to collect the data. So once after 3 years, the students is getting graduated, when they move out to any of the places, when they are working in some other places, we should even invite them for our BOS meetings. We can put them in our syllabus, framing the syllabus along with the faculty. The faculty can coordinate with those students who has placed in the other, in the industries. We can ask some alumni data can also be collected. Basically, even we design the syllabus. Once if we design the syllabus, we can check the syllabus by even getting the approval from the alumni who has effectively and efficiently placed in any of the reputed industry. We can call them, we can approach them, we can ask them whether there is a relevancy at the workplace, what we are teaching currently to the students and what we are going to frame the new syllabus, whether this syllabus has some relevancy in the industry. So likewise, we can check the validation, whether we can even, if there is no, for example, supply chain logistics, these are all the current trend which we can see in most of the BBA and most of the MBA institutions. So here, what we can do is, once if we design the syllabus, it should not be more and more theoretical. Even we can go for having more and more practical knowledge, how far we can impart to the students. So here, basically, when you welcome more and more alumni, if you collect the data about their industry experience, what they have studied, and currently what the syllabus we are going to change, whether there is any future application or even the alumni can suggest some of the inclusions can be done according to the current industry requirement. So likewise, we can bridge the gap between the industry and the institute. So the gap can be easily filled when you take even more and more the feedbacks, even we can put those people, alumni, industry experts, we can put them in our BOS committee. We can ask them their contribution for the syllabus or the courses, whatever we are building. We can get their inputs, then we can design the curriculum. So if we design the curriculum in such a way, then definitely, at least if the students, if they graduate, if they go out to the industry, the placement will be very easy and it will be more and more related to the current trends, contemporary changes, whatever is being happening outside the world, outside the institutions, in the industry, what is there, accordingly we can place our students. So this need to be done very thoroughly. So while we are designing the curriculum itself, we have to bring all the stakeholders and we have to thoroughly evaluate our syllabus, and we have to design the curriculum by getting the inputs from the students, teachers, even the employers. Employers is nothing but some industry experts who are our frequent recruiters. For BCom, we have some frequent recruiters, either from Infosys or from Cognizant or from Wipro. We can invite those experts to our syllabus committee and we can revise our syllabus according to the industry needs. And alumni feedback also can be collected to our syllabus, and alumni will also be more and more welcome to give their inputs. So in such a way, we have to design our syllabus. When we design such a way our syllabus, definitely our syllabus will be more and more student-centric learning, and definitely it meets various parameters like NAAC policy, so and so. So from the beginning itself, we have to design a syllabus in such a way. And similarly, next, even like if it is affiliated colleges, for example, if it is an affiliated colleges, basically the university will build the syllabus, institutions will not no, they will not build the syllabus. So at the university level, the syllabus need to be framed with proper committee members who's more knowledgeable and who's having more connect. For example, in affiliated colleges, they will have at least one representative from affiliated colleges to the university. The connectivity will be there. So basically at the top level, at the strategic level, either the principal or the vice principal or the person who's been in the who's very clear with the syllabus, who is more and more experienced, they can be put in those committee at the university level and they can prepare the syllabus. So this is what need to be done from the curriculum. In the beginning, at this base level itself, our curriculum need to be built in such a way. And similarly, either we can go for having choice-based credit system. These are all the we can go for having some credit system. So this is related with the credit system. This basically it cannot be unless until if we are an affiliated institution, it's very difficult. If it is an university, it is up to us. So we have our open elective courses, we can have our IDC courses, MDC, it's within us. But when it goes under the affiliated colleges, it is quite difficult to frame the syllabus. So it is a little difficult. Okay. Next, when you talk about the industry, how far the practical and industry focus. So even though when we design the syllabus, once the syllabus being designed, whether how far the syllabus meets the skill-based training. See, today if you take the entrepreneurship subject, basically entrepreneurship is more and more of a practical subject. So today, if you see, when you revisit with our syllabus, when you go for the revision with this particular subject, as an example, I'm telling you, when we revise the syllabus, the entrepreneurship subject, basically, we have to revise the syllabus more and more rather than theoretical. We have to give more and more of a learner-centric approach in the syllabus. When you talk about learner-centric approach, how you can do learner-centric approach in the syllabus? When you ask, basically, we can design the syllabus of more and more bringing new changes according to the trends in the market. Like more and more, we can talk about venture capitalists, we can talk more about angel investors, the syllabus, and even the students can come out with a good business idea, and the business idea can be exhibited. Even they can do a prototype, and the prototype they can even sell it in the market, and they can see some kind of the profit or the revenue what they are gaining. Not only that, even we can think about the institutions can have some institution innovation cell. Through that, how far the students, for example, if it is a BBA course or an MBA course, we can have our own institution innovation council or a club, something in that how far those who are being those students or those candidates, when they want to become an entrepreneur, we can segregate those students. We can have our own incubation training can be given to the students at an incubation level. Whatever the training, whatever the knowledge building, whatever the we build them more and more. We give them more and more confident even to start up a business. So those even we can have some clubs, even IAC team can be formed. Rather than even trying for incubation center is quite difficult. Even though if it is difficult, we can try at the major level, at the minor level, either to have an IAC or an ED club or ED cell, something like that. We are training our students. They can design a beautiful project. They can even come out with a prototype. They can check the viability of the product. They can check the feasibility of the product. So likewise, we have to give more and more practical exposure to the students from our institution end itself. So this is something which is related with the percentage of the course which emphasize on skill-based training, and whether these are all the attributes, we will get more and more score. We can score good marks. Basically, we can take these courses, which courses have like more and more practical exposure, those courses, we can have even more and more creativity at the institution level, and we can file some data, documents, reports can be stored. So this will help for our accreditation to gain more and more marks. For that reason, we can have our own clubs, inbuilt clubs in the institutions. And even we can have some like internship trainings can be given at the second year or the third year, and more field trips can be taken. For example, if you take supply chain management, if we have that particular syllabus, why can't we take the students to the field visit? And in the field visit, at least for 10 days, or even they can go for internship for 1 month of period. And what is the practical exposure, practical knowledge at the industry level? What do they gain? And after coming back to the institution, rather than their placement becomes very easy. So likewise, we have to connect more and more with the industry. We have to build the syllabus curriculum in such a way. So similarly, so this carries more and more weightage. So here, for example, earlier the cases like 10 marks we have for this, and autonomous institution, it is 10 mark, affiliated institution, it is 20 marks. So the percentage of program with projects, internships, and summer internships, winter internships, like social concern projects can be given to the students when they go for summer internships. And at least at the final year, before the 6th semester, at the 5th semester, we can give even some 2 months of internship where they can go to the industry. They can do some internship. Through that, they can submit even a project report. So for that, one particular course can be even designed, summer internship or a social concern project or anything like that. We can start from the first year itself. First year, when they go for a summer vacation, we can even we can have some social concern project. When they go in the second year, we can give some internship projects. And in the third year, they can do some research-based project. So likewise, we have to classify the classify the courses, and these courses we can give even 2 credits, or even we can give 4 credits, or most probably we don't want to give 4 credits. 4 credits will come for the common core courses. When we at the institution level, when we design some courses, we can give some credits or 2 credits. Likewise, we can give some credits for the subjects whichever is being more and more industry industry related courses. And similarly, the mark varies from university level for this, as well as for the autonomous colleges, as well as for the affiliated institutions. So these are all the things which comes under curriculum itself. It is 1.4, and 1.3 is related with the evaluation, what we do, and 1.2 is the stakeholder participation, and 1.1 is related with the POs, PSOs, and COs. 1.2 is related with the stakeholder participation, and 3 is with the evaluation, curriculum flexibility, and 1.4 is related with the practical and industry focus. What do we give for the students? And 1.5, yeah, this is what still this we have seen. Now let us see related with 1.5. So under attribute 1, the metric 1.5, we have here skill-oriented courses. So skill-oriented courses in the sense, as I was talking about incubation center, I was talking about even we can take even some, we can have some MOU with any of the industry. Those industry, we can have some tie-up, and frequently we can have some exchange program. No, not exchange program. We can send our students to gain some internship. So likewise, we have the new attributes has some different set of metrics. So when you consider metric 1.6, it talks about Indian knowledge system. So here basically this Indian knowledge system, now most of the colleges, they started to have their own Indian knowledge system as a subject, and this subject basically it is of 2 credits can be given. Under this particular subject, even we can consider it as a workshop or a seminar or a certificate course. If possible, the students can even go for some certificate courses, or if possible, some workshops can be arranged for around 10 days or something, and even we can give them some 2 credits or something. We can evaluate the students' knowledge level, and we can give some credits for this particular Indian knowledge system subject. So likewise, the promotion of students, faculty projects, research, Likewise, no, we can have some different new courses, basically, which gives more and more weightage for our NAAC, as well as which gives more and more impart knowledge for the students. Likewise, we have to design our syllabus. And 1.7 is something related with online and blended learning. So here today, currently at the UG level itself, basically at the third year, the students are supposed to enroll. At the second year itself, we have to make the students to enroll. Why not even second year, first year itself, we can ask the students to either enroll for Swayam or no, MOOC courses. Likewise, we can ask the students to enroll the various courses, whatever they needed. See, for example, if a students from BCom or from BBA, like tomorrow, if they employed in an industry, the industry expectation is something whether they are knowledgeable in payroll management, whether they do have more and more knowledge related with dashboard creation. So here today there are MOOC courses, Swayam in Swayam platform. We have various online courses, like even they can go for learning some financial courses, even advanced Excel. Likewise, various analytical courses or huge analytical courses are available. So at free of cost, we can ask the students to enroll these courses. And once if they enroll the courses, when they attend the, when they watch the YouTube videos, and when they do the subsequent test, which has been given by this particular course, the course creator and the course particular course person, they will design various scores. So either sometimes they keep MCQs, and once after a few 4 or 5 MCQs, the students they clear, finally they can go for appearing for an exam. Once if they appear for an exam, once if they complete the exam, one or the other certificates will be gained by the students. So likewise, we have to ask the students to enroll more and more for the online and blended courses, which is more and more of skill based, which gives more and more knowledge enhancement. And this knowledge enhancement is just which is more and more relevant to the industry level. So likewise, we have to mentor and monitor the students to do the online and blended courses. So this is something related with 1.7, and 1.8 is something with the curriculum revision. So this curriculum revision, basically number of courses introduced or revised. So earlier, like 30, some universities and some colleges, if you see, they keep the very old courses, which is not relevant to the, which is not useful to the students as well when they go out of the institute. Also, when they go out of the college, when they place in some industry, the courses are more and more irrelevant. So those courses need to be revised, and the revision, definitely it should happen in many of the courses. And so here, when you do the revision, we should have a calculation. What is the total number of courses we give, out of which there is the revision has been done in the past 3 years or past 2 BOS meetings, something like that. We have to revise our syllabuses based on the industry need. So this comes under the 1.8, metric 1.8, that is related with the curriculum. So now once again, let us see the curriculum, how many metrics we have according to attribute 1. So here attribute 1 is related with curriculum. So when you look into the attribute 1 related with the curriculum, first one is outcome based, metric 1.1, which is of about our POs, PSOs, PEOs, and COs. And next, 1.2, it talks about the stakeholder participation. So here stakeholder participation is our students, our teachers, and also the industry, who are all our good recruiters, and we can bring those experts, industry experts from our own recruiters, and similarly alumni. So these people need to be involved under this particular curriculum preparation, which comes under 1.2, that is stakeholder participation, we used to tell. And next, curriculum flexibility. Curriculum flexibility, it is our own choice-based credit system, or we can have our own, like even for Indian knowledge management system, Indian knowledge system, we have seen, we can even conduct an MCQ test, or we can conduct some exam-based, or even we can go for having some workshops. Based on the workshop, some level of knowledge need to be checked with the students, and we can give them gradings or certificates. So likewise, we can have our own curriculum flexibility. So that is 1.3. How far we have revised according to the current requirements. That definitely that carries more and more weightage in our NAAC. And when you talk about 1.4 here, mostly this 1.4 talk about industry focused courses. How many courses out of 30 courses, how many courses are highly relevant to the students, which is good enough to give good skill enhancement for the students, and how far the knowledge level being increased for the students in a more practical way, how far once after completing this particular course, students are capable enough to get good placement in the industry, and how far once after their placement, how it is more and more applicable, the knowledge whatever they have got through our curriculum, and how far they are imparting to the industry. So likewise, we have to design the syllabus, and that is 1.4. It talks about the our internship, like we can have one even 2 credit course for internship, 2 credit course for social concern project. So likewise, in summer vacation or in winter vacation, we can have some courses which is more and more relevant to the gain more and more practical knowledge, as well as which also simultaneously carries very good weightage for the NAAC. And similarly, next 1.5 is skill orientation courses, and 1.6, as I have said, we have seen earlier, Indian knowledge management system, and 1.7 is related with online and blended courses, 1.8 with the curriculum revision, how far we have revised our syllabus. The earlier old courses need to be removed, and we have to place new courses which is more and more relevant to the industry. And these are all the things will be covered under attribute 1, that is curriculum. Okay, hopefully I think that's clear. Now let us move on with attribute 2, that is faculty resources. So here in attribute 2, when you talk about faculty resources, so as of now, only we are seeing only the input. That is input. It talks about how many attributes. Can anybody type what are all the attributes we have seen under input? Please, can anybody type what are all the attributes we have seen? Input has how many attributes? Actually, professors and whomsoever is attending the meeting, it will be very good if we have more and more interactive session rather than, yes, 4 attributes. Yes, madam. Very good. Kimia has typed 4 attributes. Can you mention what are the 4 attributes? Can you please mention what are the 4 attributes we have under input? Curriculum design, very good. Curriculum design, how much metrics we have under curriculum design? 8, very good. 8, yes, Priya ma'am, we have 8, 1.8 metrics. 1.1 faculty resources is the second one, that is, it comes under attribute 2. Yes, 4 attributes. First one is curriculum design, and second one is faculty resources. Yes, third one, infrastructure, very good. Fourth one, yeah, fourth one, can you tell please? Financial support, financial resources. Yes. So now we have seen only the curriculum design, which has 8 attributes, 8 metrics. So we have seen 8 metrics, starting from designing the curriculum. Second one, we have seen about POs, PSOs. Second, we have seen about the syllabus course revision, not course revision. We have seen about the various, we have seen 1 minute. Yeah. So I will show once again. You will also able to remember SPOs, PSOs, and we have seen the stakeholder participation in our syllabus revision and curriculum flexibility. That is the third one. And the fourth one is practical and the industry focus. Practical, internship projects, how much ever we are supposed to give, we can give it to the students during the winter break and the summer break. And skill-oriented courses, Indian knowledge system, definitely we should include in our curriculum, and definitely we should have this particular Indian knowledge system as a subject, or else definitely we will lose the mark. And basically it has some scores. 5 mark. And similar, next one is online and blended learning. So here we have to make our students to enroll one or the other courses, SMOOC or Swayam courses, and we have to collect the certificate from the course students. Various different courses, we can ask the students to enroll and to complete the course. And once if they complete the course, we have to collect and keep the course completion certificate, because these are all because more and more this binary accreditation talks about quantitative metrics. So definitely we should have the certificates. And next 1.8 talk about the curriculum revision. So curriculum revision need to be done. Next, let us move on with the attribute 2. So here in attribute 2, we talk about the faculty-student ratio. Basically, when you talk about this faculty-student ratio at university level, number of students. For example, the ratio should be 20:1. Most of the institutions, they run the courses with 5 faculties, or sometimes they run with less number of shortage of faculties. No, it need not to be there. We are supposed to have sufficient amount of faculties according to our intake of the students. So always we are supposed to maintain 20:1. So this, which not only we talk about the HRP planning, human resource planning for efficiency and effectiveness of the operation. But beyond that, NAAC also have a check in this. We have to have always the student faculty ratio should be more and more. It should be a balanced approach. We should go with a balanced way. Basically, we should have more and more of full-time teachers. And how many number of faculties we had last 3 years, how many full-time faculties, and what is our student ratio. So for this, we have around 10 marks. So this need to be done very carefully, and the student faculty recruitment also need to be done most probably with the PhD holders, either or a NET or SET or KSET, something they should, at least they should qualify these these levels. So that is very, very important. Yes. And next, institutions to have professors of practice. So we should have at least 1 or 2 professors of practice who has been spent many quite long tenure with the industry, and now they are capable enough to come and teach for the students. So we should have at least 1 or 2 professors of practices in the institution. So here we have to maintain that students teacher ratio very perfectly, and number of assistant professors, associate professors, professors, and professors of practice. The hierarchy need to be maintained. At least 4, for example, at least we should have 4 assistant professors and at least 3 associate professors, 2 or even we have including director, HOD. Sometimes we can have 2 or 3 or even 1 professors and professor of practice. Sometimes we can have even ad hoc contract visiting faculty who is serving in the other institutions. Sometimes, like for example, we are doing some skill-based courses, whether our faculties are not sufficient enough to capable enough to deliver that particular course. We can have even hire some faculty in like part-time or even in a visiting manner. We can have some faculty who can deliver the courses. So likewise, we should have the faculty ratio. Eventually we have to balance this assistant professor, associate professor, professor, and professor of practice. And similarly, ad hoc or the contract or the visiting faculty. For many of the language courses, we can go for having some ad hoc or a visiting or kind of the faculties. And next we have the faculty quality. How do we measure the faculty quality? Here, faculty quality or the resources. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sure. So here, related with this, next, faculty quality. So basically, we have to recruit the faculty Basically, mostly we have to go for recruiting the faculty who has a PhD degree and who is well versed with with the specialized domain. We should have the in our recruitment policy itself. We have to have a balanced way of recruiting the faculty. So the faculty should have either PhD or equivalent along with a degree awarded by university and the subject and the degree. So basically here the terminal degree is very important for finding the data. We should have the PhD certificate of the faculties, and that also sometimes we need to submit to the universities. So sorry, submit to the in their NAAC filing, we should file their certificates. So terminal degree is very important. If it is PhD, it's well and good. We will score more good marks. Like having sufficient enough amount of PhD faculties will gain for us. It's a more and more advantage to gain good marks. Next, faculty quality. If you see, how do we measure the faculty quality? In the sense, once at least like average teaching experience, full-time teachers, for example, what is their experience and what is the number of experience we have and how many full-time faculties. This need to be measured, and sometimes even we can have a faculty feedback also can be collected from the students. That also can be kept under this in attribute 2. So in faculty, that is faculty, when you talk about attribute 2, it talks more about the faculty resources. Faculty resources in such a way, it talks about the faculty quality, that is cadre wise, what is our faculty strength, that is metric 2.2. And in this, we try to have the hierarchical strength properly, student and faculty ratio, very balanced way we should have. And next, we should have more and more PhD holders. Faculty should be more and more full-time teachers with PhD. It's more and more appropriate, and it will add more and more weightage for our NAAC score. And faculty resources is something we should have experience-wise. We have to have the classification, and then we should have the scores. So this is comes under attribute 2. Next, when you talk about the attribute 3, this attribute 3 talks about infrastructure. So when you talk about the infrastructure, here in attribute 3, we have physical infrastructure. The physical infrastructure, like the facilities available in the institutions, like teaching laboratories, research labs. I hope till attribute 2, it's clear to the audience. Is it clear? I think it's clear to the audience. Now let us see attribute 3. So this attribute 3 talks more about the physical infrastructure facilities. Yes. So hopefully I request the audience to talk about attribute 3, whatever we discussed. Can anybody type in the chat box what are all the points we discussed in attribute 2? Before moving on with 3, we can have a clarification, we can have a clarity what we have seen in attribute 2. Library, yes, very good. Yeah, it comes under attribute 3, madam. In attribute 2, just I am asking you a question. What are the factors we have discussed in attribute 2? It more talks about the faculty resources. In faculty resources, yes, it should be like the faculty qualification, teaching faculty, students, teacher-student ratio, their highest degree is teaching, learning, extended curriculum activities, governance, administration, student outcome, research, innovation, outcomes. Yes. So altogether, yeah, the last part related with the faculty resources, we can talk more about the faculty's ratio.
Ratios, then we have degrees, ma'am, qualifications of that particular faculty.
Very good, sir. Very good, sir. So these should be covered. Yes, sir. Basically, we should have more and more PhD holders, and students-teacher ratio should be very balanced. We should have a proper balance. When we have this, definitely we can score good marks. And when you talk about attribute 3, This attribute 3 talks more about the infrastructure facilities. The infrastructure facilities, in the sense, it talks more about the physical infrastructure facilities available in the institution. Physical infrastructure, when you talk about physical infrastructure, either it can be the teaching laboratory, research labs, hostel, canteen facilities, sports facilities, ground, separate clean washroom for boys and girls, portable drinking water is available facilities, language lab, auditorium, gym, seminar halls, health and wellness center, guest houses, transport facilities, museum, artifacts, classification in terms of academic, non-academic area. We can have our own kind of museum. Okay, so these are all some of the essentials need to be kept as an resources inside as a kind of physical infrastructure facilities. What do we have? We can emphasize it, we can even innovate it, we can renovate it, and we can have it as a facilities. So these facilities always, it's well and good for the institution as well as for our stakeholders. Similarly, it carries good weightage for our NAAC score. So here, this provide according to the norms and specifications, we should have all the facilities. For example, if it is like affiliated colleges, under affiliated colleges, we should have the teaching laboratory, research labs, hostels, canteen facilities, sports facilities, ground, separate clean washrooms for boys and girls, portable drinking water facilities, language lab, seminar hall, gym, faculty common room. So these are all the must. These infrastructure should be inbuilt in the affiliated colleges, and unless until if he doesn't have, the scores will be less. So these are all the parameters which comes under the physical infrastructure facilities. And even if we have the laboratories or research lab, how far it is more and more functional, how far it is more and more effective. And even if we have the canteen facilities, whether whether we provide, everything will be measured very particularly. Sports facilities, likewise, everything will be clearly monitored by the NAAC score. And next we have metric 3.2, which is related with the learning resources. So there is a separate metric for library resources. So when you talk about library resources here, what are all the available books? At least we should have books, e-books, and all the digital resources. Like most of the institutions today, currently, they are more and more well-versed, and they have more and more digital resources. Like Scopus, it's quite difficult, but they have EBSCO
We have like capital line database, madam.
Correct, sir. Even
Capital
financial
line
subjects.
Financial management. Then we have the public weekly reviews, political weekly reviews. These are the arts, humanities they have.
Yes, sir. So likewise, even there are subscriptions can be done by the institutions, and we can have, especially for financial subjects, we can have some subscriptions. We can have our own the resources for the students.
Even including language lab, we can go with the Wordsworth English lab, ma'am.
Correct, sir. So likewise, we can have some subscriptions, and we can have some periodicals. So likewise, need to be maintained in the in institutions. And these all carries a very good score. And even if we have the resources, how many footfalls being registered, this also will be monitored, and the scores will be, there's a specific score, and there is a high score. How far frequently our students use our resources, how far frequently faculties visit the utilize the resources. Everything will be monitored. Even today, there is more and more usage of ChatGPT by the students, but we should not allow the students to have using of ChatGPT. We should ask the students, at least for one particular subject, at least 2 books can be lended from the library, and they should utilize the library resources. So that need to be strictly monitored by the librarian. So likewise, we can have some databases. We can subscribe some databases, and we can have it in the library. So this carries a very good score. And next, research resources. So so here when you talk about the research resources, e-journals can be, subscriptions can be done. EBSCO, I was talking about EBSCO, and membership subscriptions can be done, like plagiarism check. So even your undergraduate project or postgraduate project, when they go for like no submission, before submission, at least we can have some Turnitin subscription. Likewise, plagiarism check subscription we can have, and we can check the students' project through that. Only the students are supposed to check, and only the librarian is supposed to give the plagiarism certificate. Once after getting the certificate, only we can approve the project. So we can more and more we can systemize our resources by making more and more utility by the students. We can make the resources more and more used by the students by having our own system and standard practice. And similarly, we can have some discipline-specific simulation software, discipline-specific research laboratory, as Sir was telling earlier. So likewise, we can have some library resources. So this comes under the criteria 3.3. And next, under the 3.4, IT infrastructure. So here under IT infrastructure, how many desktops are available? How many laptops are being available in our computer lab? And beyond that, what are all the, like, sometimes even movie making also students does today. So whether we have the resources, whether we facilitate the students, all those facilities being provided from our end. So likewise, we can have some IT facilities. And the IT facilities, like how many, like for example, even what is our bandwidth, how do we support for the faculties, preparation, research for the students, what are all the facilities being provided by even providing them the Wi-Fi facilities. So everything can be recorded, and we can give good facilities for the students and the faculties. So whether we are providing them enough bandwidth for internet, for Wi-Fi connection. So everything can be monitored, whether do we have enough sufficient desktop, laptop, and yes. So this all need to be monitored. And for basically these all, we can have some geotag photos of virtual labs, classrooms, stock register need to be maintained, minutes of the IT committee, relevant committee. So here we should maintain proper documents. We should have a proper bills need to be filed within our infrastructure facilities. And similarly, do we have an environmental friendly environment? For example, if there is some disabled people are being, students may be also their faculties, or any of the staff members, any of our employee can be there. Whether do we have the ramp facilities? And do we have the, like today, most of the institutions, even for the like no students, especially for the girl children, they have the facilities like they can collect when they are having some during those times, the students can take, even by putting the coin, they can collect some emergency needs. So likewise, we can have some kind of facilities within our restrooms for the students, whatever we provide them, there we can have this kind of system, which will be more and more we can give them a hygienic environment. And similarly, websites, softwares, how far we are accessible with all the usage of the facilities being given by the institution, softwares, and read, scribe. Basically, we should have the RAM facilities carries a very good weightage of mark to bring an inclusive education. Today, we are talking about inclusive education. When you talk about inclusive education, definitely we should have RAM facilities. And we should have the some students, when they feel ill during the examination, whether do we have the scribe system, whether we are following the scribe system for writing their examination. So likewise, we should have all the facilities inside our institution. And next, it talks about the innovation resources. As I was talking about earlier, for ED courses, entrepreneurship subject, if you take, whether do we have the institution innovation council, incubation, whether we do we have our incubation lab. In that incubation lab, whether the students are coming out with a business idea, whether we are validating their business idea, whether the students are preparing some prototype product, whether they are capable enough to check the feasibility of the product, whether from the visibility of the product, whether they are able to sell it in the market. So likewise, the innovation need to be thinker tanks or thinker labs can be kept. Some clubs can be formed. In these clubs, multiple events can be done related with the innovation, business idea generation. So through that, we can validate the students' level of knowledge, and we can have even our incubation center within our institution. The students, we can allow them to come out with some prototype product, and whether this prototype product, whether they are capable enough to sell it in the market. So likewise, a sample survey can be done with these all the facilities, with the incubation centers and innovation lab. So this is how till attribute 3. So attribute 3 has 6 metrics, starting from first. Metrics 1, it talks about the physical infrastructure, and metric 2, it talks about the learning resources. What do we have? The facilities like library, research resources, and 3.4 talks about the IT infrastructure facilities, and 3.5, it talks about the friendly environment, and 3.6 talks about the innovative resources. Basically, for this innovative resources, it need to be there. Currently, if we doesn't have, definitely we can even start with the innovation thinkers lab. Even incubators, it's quite difficult. If we are not able to build the incubators, we can even go with the innovation and the thinker lab. Because incubator is something we can give idea about various angel investors, venture capitalists around the market. We can connect our students with them, and even they can have some collaborative prototype product selling and doing business. So likewise, the attribute 3 is being divided. So from attribute 4 onwards, tomorrow the next professor will continue. She'll be talking from attribute 4. So today we have seen till attribute 3. This still attribute 3 only we have seen about the input process. So is it clear till this? Can we wind up the session, or do you have any queries? Sure. So many faculties were asking about the PPT. Sure, I will share it to the host, the organizer. From them, you can collect it, the PPTs. For sure, I will send all the PPTs. So today we have seen only the highlights of binary accreditation. How far this binary accreditation is different from earlier NAAC process. And here, how this binary accreditation is making our easy way of our NAAC submission process. And in this binary accreditation, how far we can be very smart enough to file our data, and how we are capable enough to get the scores. And here in this binary accreditation, we have 3 steps. One is input, process, and output. In this only today, I have covered only the input process, starting from the curriculum. Then we have seen with the faculty, and next we have seen about the infrastructure facility and the financial resources. From the rest others, I think from attribute 4 onwards, tomorrow the next person, she will continue from the financial resources. So we have completed only today till attribute 3. So till attribute 3, I hope everybody are clear. So the metrics under attribute 1, we have 1.8 metrics. Under attribute 2, we have around 2.2 metrics we have under this faculty resources. And attribute 3, we have around 5, 6.
5, ma'am. 5.
Yes, sir. So we have seen till this. So any more queries? Hope, I think.
Ma'am, recently, as per the February 8th notification, from now
Yes, sir.
onwards, the NAAC also will undergo like a hybrid mode. We can go through the e-process. It has moved to e-process recently because of the incident of that one of the private institution.
University in Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, university. We should not discuss the name,
Yes,
but
sir,
still,
yes, sir.
because of that, the NAAC system, they moved into the hybrid mode. Again, there are some, they brought some changes in terms of like filing. They have given the 6-month time frame, madam. Once after submission, again, we need to, once
Yes,
after
sir.
completion, that we need to submit within 6 months only.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Correct.
Recently,
is the
few
process.
updates have taken place, madam. Yes, madam. I appreciate
Yes,
your efforts. Thank you so much for your valuable insights.
yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Actually, within a short duration of time, talking everything is quite difficult.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
as much as possible, I
actually,
have given the clarity.
yes, madam. Actually, when we are discussing from the NAC perspective, that the criteria should be allocated day wise. For example, first criteria is 3, one session. The second 3 criterias, next session, like 3 days or 4 days. We can split up that criteria. So it will be
Yes, sir.
easy for everyone, even for
Yes, sir.
a resource person, even for an individual. The participant also can acquire more knowledge if that is the
Yes, sir. Yes,
case.
sir. Yes, sir. So the
Thank
next
you, madam.
output and the process will be taken care. Tomorrow, the faculty will discuss. She will discuss the Dr. Blessy, her name is, and she will discuss about the rest other parts, sir.
Yes,
So
madam.
as
Thank
much
you.
as possible, I have covered today. Actually, binary accreditation understanding itself, it requires one session, sir.
Yes, madam. Yes, that's even we are undergoing with this process. Because of that reason, your valuable insights may help us for our institution.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Next
sir. Sure,
coming
sir.
six
When
months,
you
we
have
are.
all these documents and data, definitely there is a possibility, sir. Definitely, it's not a possibility. Definitely, there is like, no, we are capable enough to score good marks.
Yes, ma'am. Because we need to work on the weak areas where exactly we are, when compared to the previous reports, where we are weak, lagging behind. That we need to incorporate for this current NAC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, anybody has any queries? Madam, can I wind up the session, madam?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Madam, first of all, thank you for sharing such a vast knowledge on the binary process.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
One doubt I have is in the initial explanation, you told that first we will know NAC will give us accreditation if we are having 1.5 and above,
Yes, sir.
and then MBGL.
Yes, sir.
I am a little bit doubtful in what is the difference between MBGL and this binary, and as a initial stage, let us say I have started the institution. My
Okay, sir.
institution is 2 years old,
Okay,
and
sir.
another 2 years down the line, I will be going for NAC.
Okay.
So after the process, how will be
Okay.
the grading? Will I get that MBGL level in the initial stage itself, or I need to wait for certain duration of time?
No, sir, you have to wait. Actually, like no earlier, we had around a certain like no, sir, one batch students need to complete. Okay, for example, if it is a BBA course, 3 years of like no course need to be completed. One batch we have to send. At least we
No,
should have 4 years.
what I mean to say is, in
Mhm.
the olden version of accreditation,
Older
even
version
if
we
the
have to have around 6 years, sir. Two batch need to be completed.
no, let me finish my question. In the
Okay.
older version, even if the institution has finished 6 years,
Okay.
and if the documents are all satisfactory, they
Okay.
used to have A grade.
Correct, sir.
Now, in this process, at the
Yes, sir.
first stage itself, can we achieve MBGL level 2 or 3, or is there a time gap?
No, sir, there is a time gap, sir.
Can you please briefly mention, speak about this thing? How, or after
So
three
first
years?
we have to go for this applying this binary accreditation. In
Okay.
that we have this MBGL, sir. And
Uh-huh.
this MBGL we have level 1 to level 4.
Okay.
And suppose in this level 1 to level 4,
Uh-huh.
yes, 1 minute, I will share the PPT so that you will get a good idea. I will share the screen. So here you can see.
At initial level, binary will be there, sir. Once after completing 1 year, like that. Then when it comes to the MGBL, there will be a continuous improvement, like level 1 to 4. So in
Correct,
such
sir.
cases, we can go with the MGBL level, sir.
Sir, is it now are you able to see this? See MGB.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is visible, ma'am.
Yes,
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 sir.
it is visible.
So here you can see, sir, MBGL, it tells about level 1 to 4, it talks about the institution of excellence. And
No, I got this point. I got this
Okay.
point.
okay.
What Dr. Satvik was mentioning, that first stage we have to satisfy binary,
Correct.
and then after another 3 years we have to go for MBGL, if I am not wrong.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Yes, sir. Because it is a continuous improvement process. First, once we submit binary, if we attain the ranking, then there are another 3 more levels where we can work upon, so that we will get that maturity, that MGBL can be attained once if we
Very
meet
good.
these criterias.
Sir, you can
And
So
see here.
initially, every institution will get NAAC rating, sir. First, initially, see, for example, if you are
Accredited or
good
not
in terms,
accredited? We will
yes,
get, sir, you can see.
yes.
So here you can
So-
see the slide which I am sharing, sir. Provisionally accredited for period of 1 year or not accredited. Then we can apply for a period of 6 months later. The institution which is provisionally accredited for a period of 1 year may again apply for NAAC. This is the procedure, sir.
Okay. And one last question.
Okay, sir.
After getting the accreditation,
Okay.
in the binary system,
Okay.
how many years do we have to wait to apply for MBGL?
Sir, it is around 1 year, sir. 1 year of time.
Okay.
No, madam. Sir, concern is like after 3 years report, once again, if we want to go for re